Hey there, once again, it is Tom Stevens, your resident psychotherapist from Reaction Therapy with Nick Stevens and another edition of our podcast, a super exciting and different one coming at you today, Nick.
Yeah, it's kind of my, we say this sometimes, but this is kind of my baby. I thought of
is
this
your
idea.
baby.
I think this is going to be a really cool thing for y'all to see. It's really, I wanted to give y'all something different. We do podcasts sometimes on artists or different mental health topics and interviews, which are all really cool things. But I thought, you know what? I've never seen anybody do a podcast episode explaining their day-to-day life. So we're going to explain kind of what it means to be a reactor. So the title is probably going to be something like behind the scenes of a YouTube reactor, something like that. So I want to give you a little behind the scenes. There's going to be some B-roll footage and some kind of just in real life kind of footage that I'm going to show throughout this episode. So I'm excited. Are you excited?
I am super excited. Number one, because I don't know totally what we're walking into. You've briefed me on it, but you're going to have a lot of other questions for me. And I've got a little bit of a split personality when it comes to this, right? I do my regular life, no pun intended, with my job as a psychotherapist every day. That is my bread and butter. It's what I do. And then I also have Reaction Therapy, this YouTube channel that we work on. And so it's like a second life for me almost, on top of being a husband and a father. But those two main chunks are very unique and very fulfilling. So I'm excited.
Yeah, so if y'all are listening to this like on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or something like that, make sure you head on over to YouTube because you're going to be able to hear kind of our explanations, but there's part of this episode that's going to be, you're going to need to see the video to understand what's going on. So I would encourage y'all, if y'all are listening to this, to watch it. It's going to be on YouTube.
Yeah, that part I want to see. The video that Nick is going to shoot, and probably with Tony's help and direction, to shoot the video of me in my life doing, and us, honestly, I'm guessing you're going to be a part of that too, of the editing and stuff like that. But hey, let's do it.
All right. So to intro off, hold on. Do I have these intro topics ready? Let's go.
Very cool.
So our intro, it's not really a topic, but we're going into the intro part. We're going to be showing a little clip of how Tom sets up for his recording. So we're trying to bring y'all through, you know, really the life of a reactor, but also the setup and the actual recording of videos and editing and stuff like that. So
let's check it out.
Let's just go ahead. I'm going to run through kind of the clip right here. I'm going to put in the clip of Tom actually setting up for recording, and then we'll come back after the clip is done and we'll talk about kind of what happened during it. So here you go. All right, so y'all just saw that clip of us kind of showing behind the scenes of how Tom sets up for recording. So kind of, I know we showed it in the clip and you might have explained a little bit in the clip, but kind of go back through what you do, what your process is to setting up for recording, like from the moment you know, walk into the room and kind of set up. What's your process through that?
Yeah, very different when I'm just on my own versus the two of us doing this podcast. You know, I have a very similar pattern of how I do it. And you're talking about actually sitting down and doing it.
Yeah, literally walking in this room.
So I walk in the door and I typically will turn the camera on first. I will go around, I'll get the laptop fired up, and I will turn all of our lights on that we have in 4 different places in this room, which you'll see, I'm sure, in the video. And once I get those set, my very next step is to sit down in the chair, wheel up to the laptop, and
You'll see probably has to hold on to the
I have to hold on to the table. And I look at the camera view. So I'm looking very carefully. You notice how if you watch videos of me, I like for this arm to be right up on the edge of the screen. So I'll do the same because that's kind of my angle. And I like for my head to just have a little bit of space, maybe not this much space because the two of us are filming. So a little bit closer to the top. And then that tells me I'm in the right spot. So I have to move the camera. I have to zoom in and out. And once I get that, which is typically on the edge of the popcorn machine all the way to the windows over there, then I'm set and I check the lighting. So the next step I do is I record for about 30 seconds and I say, hey, let me check the lighting. Let me test a video out. I just pull up a random video on YouTube and I make sure that my headphones are working, that it's actually recording, and that the lighting is not, like if it's like that, I don't want that.
Yeah.
So I make sure the lighting's correct and I run the video back. And then once it's set, I'm good to go.
Yeah, and you see that on the lighting we have the the lighting with the knob, so you can turn it up brighter or less bright. We used to have, I feel like, didn't we used to have where it just was kind of a light that turned on and like not as...
We used to have just buttons that had very few settings on it, and it's kind of what it is.
Yeah, but now we have these lights that
we have very cool lights that can light the background and the foreground. And I mean, it's not a professional studio because there are bunk beds in here.
Yeah, you'll see that too.
But it is very cool. Once I get the setup down, I'm comfy. I know where I'm sitting. And then I have a whole nother process with the videos, but I'll let you.
Yeah, so basically I want to ask you a few things. So with the recording, we use OBS is what I think most reactors use. So you've had to learn a lot of OBS throughout the years, like how to make it. We have a stream deck that helps you record videos. So how, like, what all with that do you have to check? You said you have to check the sound and the headphones, but what all goes into that part of it?
Nick's got me set up very well. When he taught me about this stream deck that he got that has all these buttons that turn on Chrome, that turn on OBS, that turn on the little window, the picture-in-picture for me, that turn off that picture-in-picture. Like, there are so many buttons that work that it used to have to be a lot of things I'd have to do. Now, I sit down and I can literally turn on OBS. It puts it up. I even have this computer here that I have has a main screen and two side screens. So I have a picture of me on there that I can see how I'm looking, and a picture of the actual video that I'm watching. So it's very cool. And I just hit the buttons according to whether I want to do the pop-up, the transition. He's got me all set for that, and taking it away and getting back to the way we started.
And sometimes he'll text me and it's like, I don't know what happened. I can't get the sound to
not
work.
Working. And the picture won't come up.
Sometimes we have this weird sound configuration. I think most people don't have what we have with the sound, but we have this app that actually does sound. We have a Mac, and I think a lot of people don't use Macs to record.
Really?
I think a lot of they actually have computers that they build that they record on. We actually have a Mac, so it's a lot different on a Mac than on a normal recording.
I like it. I think it works great.
Because with the Mac, you have one screen, like you don't have multiple screens, so we got this cool triple screen thing now that works a lot better. But with the sound, it's all weird. But so sometimes the sound doesn't work. You have to close down the software, open it back up. So that's just kind of behind the scenes of, like, it's not just like you sit down and record. You have to make sure all these little things are working. And
I learned that, over time, just to really check everything first. And Nick's been really good at teaching me. Like, I don't know everything about it. He knows a ton, everything. I, though, know I need to check everything and do a sample real quick of some other video to just see, is the picture looking right? Is the lighting looking right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes he'll come back and say that sound was a little off, or it wasn't loud enough, or I'm too close to the mic or too far. So it really is a cool tag team here. And that's just setting it up, y'all. And then there's the trying to do the videos I'm set to do.
Yeah. So leading into that, so that's kind of the behind the scenes of setting everything up. Now I'm going to show you the clips or clips of kind of how Tom goes about recording a song, reacting to a song. So that's going to be pretty cool because I'm going to be able to film him while he's recording. So I'm going to try to show y'all a little bit of him like from one angle, and then maybe him from the back angle, actually with the video and stuff. So it's going to look pretty cool, and then we're going to talk about it. So here's that clip, and we'll see you after.
Enjoy. Okay, everything's set up according to the lights and the camera. Next up, I've got to make sure I get my video where I want it. The right video pulled up, which is this one. We're going to turn it on here. Whoop, there it goes. Normally get it set, rewind straight to the beginning, enlarge. And then after that, I try to get myself set up. Always like my left shoulder up against the screen in case you wanted to see the little secret of Tom. Watch the videos. My left shoulder is always on the edge of the screen. My hat is always just close to the top. Then I've got to do a sound check after this, and I will hit record. I'll kind of just do a practice run like, hey, it's Tom Stevens, your resident psychotherapist. I will do a, make sure the sound's working, put my headphones on and run it.
You're watching the...
There it is. It's working. Everything's all set up. Shut the record down. Make sure it's all good. Then I go check the record and get ready for my video. But before that, I do a thumbnail. Why am I talking to that camera when I should be talking to this camera? I mean, you're the one that pays attention, not them. So I do a thumbnail. My thumbnails always remove the top and the bottom, believe it or not, off of the screen. So we take all the advertisements down. We get a thumbnail set like this, and I go and I take the picture. After that, I get the top and the bottom back, and I go back over and I make sure that thumbnail worked. That's the key here. I got the thumbnail screenshot right here. There it is. There's a shock look. If I like the look, I label it up here. I go in and I put the name of what it is. Then I save it. Try to get the right name. Then I save it. Shut it down. There's where all my files are. And I'm ready to record. Once I'm ready to record, pull the video up and get myself going and say, hey, it's Tom Stevens, your resident psychotherapist. And that's how the video starts.
All right, so y'all just saw kind of the clip of Tom recording a video, kind of how he does that, different things with the thumbnail I want to ask him about, how he does that, and different things like that, because, you know, we're probably different than a lot of reactors. We probably approach it in a different way. But so with the video, how do you go about recording a video? Like, do you look up the video and you say, oh, this is the music video, I gotta pay attention on that? Or I know you pull up the lyrics kind of on your phone. People might not know that, but Tom actually has the lyrics on his phone and has it in a spot where you can't see that he's actually has the lyrics pulled up, but he does a lot of the time. So how do you go about, you know, doing that kind of process?
And you know, I believe every reactor kind of finds their comfort zone of what they like to do and what works for them. It would be cool to see a reaction from every reactor about how they do it, because you got to do what works for you. And I am a mental health professional and I like to understand the lyrics. So therefore, you know, I have people in the beginning saying, don't listen to the lyrics, just see what you catch. And other people like, you need to listen to the lyrics. For me, I need them, even though all the time I don't need them. Like there are songs I can hear and understand, but I like to go back and I like to break down what I hear and what I read. And so the cool part, as you've seen in the video, I'm sure, is that once I get all set with my video side, well, then there's me dressing. So, you know, I change clothes for each video that I do, that I sit down, I look at the spreadsheet. Nick's got an Excel spreadsheet of all the songs I'm doing and what days. And I look at the songs I'm recording and I go to YouTube and I type in all the songs. I do several tabs of YouTube. If I'm going to do 5 songs, I'll do 5 tabs and I'll pull up all the songs. I'll get them to the very beginning in order of what I'm going to do so that they're all in there. It just saves time instead of every time having to start over. And then I also pull up on my phone the lyrics of all the songs and have those ready on my phone. And then I go in and do thumbnails. That's what you were talking about. Yeah. My thumbnails are done, which is interesting because I've got to try to match it with the clothes I'm wearing in the video. So sometimes I'll do 5 thumbnails in a row while changing clothes and then shoot the video. But other times I'll just do it one at a time. And I will sit and I will, you know, have a button I push that I'll smile. They don't pull thumbnails off the video for me. I do them myself. I get lined up and I go, or I go,
And is that based off like the title of
no,
the video, or
it's
how do you
not.
do it?
Many days I'm just doing a different pose that I'm trying
Okay.
to do, but a lot of them, if you look back, I probably have this similar pose, and I have to reach over and push a button, which is W on my keyboard, to take the picture. And then the frustrating part is when I got to go into it to put a title on it, right? Like Eminem, Kim, thumbnail, and that's how I do every video, so he
Yeah.
knows what's a thumbnail. Sometimes I go in to do it and it didn't take.
Yeah.
I've got to take it again and I did something wrong. And so it's very frustrating that way. But that's how I do the thumbnails each time.
Yeah, the next step for that is I've actually added a button on the Stream Deck that I got to teach Tom. They added on the Stream Deck, they actually added one where you can just press a button for a screenshot. So I'll have to teach you about that now. But yeah,
I'm up
so
for that.
it's always a work in progress. Like we're right at 250,000 subscribers, probably over that by the time this comes out. And we still are trying to learn things like every day. I learn things, I see different updates, and then I have to teach Tom about it. So it's really cool. I think hopefully y'all think it's cool that we're just trying to learn as we go as well.
Well, and all of this is, I haven't even shot the video yet. So
before.
that's why I try to tell people it's about, for me, because I do, a lot of times 10 to 15 minute reactions.
Yeah.
So for me, it's about 30 minutes per video. I allot. Sometimes it's 20. I try to be safe. I could probably be safe with 20 minutes per video. So in an hour, I can do 3 videos. If they're really short songs, like Suicide Boys has a 2-minute song or something, then I could stretch it to 10 or something per. But I try to allot 20 minutes. So if I need to do 6 videos, I've got to find 2 hours to be able to do those, because I don't want to be rushed to have to do those. So it's about 20 minutes per video for me with the setup and the takedown. It takes me about 20 minutes to get everything set up. It takes me time at the end to shut everything down, and then the video shooting itself. And by the way, when I shoot the videos, I also have to do the thumbnails. And so it does take time. It's not just the 10-minute reaction I do.
Yeah. I also wanted to ask you about kind of the differences between recording on like a normal day, like Tuesdays, for example, are our days where Tom records a lot of videos on Tuesdays, but then we also have this new Friday stream we do, which is for new music. And those streams are different because the way you record, it's much different. Like if you see Tom record in a live stream, they probably look a lot different than the way, and you set up differently because we're kind of just going back to back to back.
You could see the popcorn machine behind me.
Yeah, different things like that. And it's just a different kind of setup because I'm here. So what's kind of the main differences between a normal recording day versus when you're recording on a stream?
Well,
for you?
Yes. So do you want me to talk about the recording days I do?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
If you want to.
So
we're exposing ourselves.
I am set up to record on Tuesdays and Fridays. Now the Fridays, they used to be recording myself. Now it's live recording on Twitch. So those are actually pretty easy compared to the normal because we're doing a live stream and we're interacting, and Nick's here. And so it takes a little pressure off. And so Fridays, we're recording 4 or 5 songs of new music versus me sitting here and recording on myself.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably a little quicker because I think if I'm by myself, I'm going to do longer reactions. My other day is Tuesday, and I sometimes am set up to record 5 to 7 videos on Tuesday. And so that can be a lot. Plus, if we have a podcast, which we do on Tuesdays.
Plus
but I
live stream too.
yeah, I've tried to blend things. On Mondays, I don't start my practice at the office until 12 o'clock. I work usually about 12 to 9. On Monday, it's a long day, but it's all after 12. So a lot of times I'll go in Monday morning, like 10 to 11. I'll record 3 or 4 videos so that it makes Tuesday now only 3 or 4 videos. And that's much more manageable with my day. So I kind of have liked a little bit Monday, a little bit Tuesday, and then the live stream Friday. It's so smoothed out my schedule because I used to be Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Remember, I used to record 3 days a week, and it was, 4 videos a day or so. And it was a lot. Now I feel like Friday is not recording. Friday's a live stream. And I know we're recording, but I feel better with that. So I really only feel like I'm recording 2 days.
Yeah, and I think that is cool because one, we get to interact with y'all, and because Twitch is newer, we don't have as many people in there, and it's a more chill vibe. Even some of the songs. I mean, this couple weeks ago, we have the Suicide Boys coming out, and like those are long reactions. So I wanted to ask you about that also because when you have to go back to back to back, like on Fridays. How do you stand that? Because I've been recording videos also on my channel. And so I know if you record back like that many videos in a row, it can get really tiring. So what's kind of your process with, do you record like longer videos first, or like, do you have any process with that?
Actually, I'd do one of two things. This is a secret because Nick's very good at spreadsheet. He has a huge spreadsheet that has the video I'm recording, whether it's a request from somebody or whether it's something from Patreon. He tells me about the video. Then he has the date I need to record it and the date it's going to release to YouTube or Patreon. And so that tells me all I need to know. And a lot of times I will just go straight down your list of what I need to record. But there are times I will record, I'll skip around and I'll order them how I want. Like, for instance, all my Patreon requests, I might do all those at once. And sometimes I'll wear something like this for 3 different videos in a row, but it's because I know they're coming out 5 or 6 days apart. So you might see a repeated clothing. I might change hats from the black hat to the white hat, or just change the top into something else. But many times if I have a lot of videos, I'm going to record 2 or 3 of them at a time and just make sure they're spread out on dates. So it is, you have to look at a lot of that. I love doing this, but I know different reactors do it different ways. Some record only 1 day a week. Some record just one at a time. Some don't release, but every 2-3 days. And like us, we do a lot of content, not only one a day on YouTube, but also we have Patreon and YouTube membership stuff we do. So we do put out about 50 to 60 video, right? 50 to 60 a month.
Probably 50-ish.
50 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, so it requires a lot of recording.
Yeah, it requires a lot of recording. Like we interviewed the JK bro. They say they record like on Saturday, it's their day, and they just
bang
record,
it all
15
out, man.
videos at once.
Like,
So,
I don't know how they do it, because when I do our live streams where we do 6, 7, 8 reactions, it's exhausting.
yeah, I can imagine. Okay, so let's go in. You kind of mentioned already about how you have a practice. If people don't know, you have a practice. You're a mental health professional, and YouTube is not your main job. So if people are watching this like, oh, this is what you do, it's like, no, he has a job too. So I wanted to kind of go through your day in a life for you. You've already kind of mentioned your recording days, but like how it works for you with, I guess, kind of just recap all of that, because you kind of already went through it. But
Like my other life?
yeah, just how you
So
how
do
you
you want me to
balance
talk
it.
ever about, are you wanting to talk about the actual videos and whether I look at the lyrics or the sound or the video?
Well, I asked you that earlier, and you said more.
I skipped
you
over
said,
that.
said more of the lyrics, but you can go back.
Oh,
over
I
it.
didn't know that was the question.
Yeah, I was asking about, do you look at the music video or lyrics? Yeah,
I totally missed that.
you're good.
then.
You're good.
A lot of people ask me that, so that's why I wanted to bring that up. Of like, what do you pay attention to? And I always tell people, I have the lyrics I've got to read. I've got the video that I'm watching if it does have a video, and I've got the music, the sound.
Yeah.
And so there are times the lyrics completely depressing or horrible, like just not good lyrics as far as like mental health. And the sound is incredible. Or sometimes the lyrics are super powerful, but the sound I kind of don't like at all.
Yeah.
And so I've learned to get more honest over time. But I think the videos actually throw me off a little bit. And I think I've learned over time to try really hard not to pay too much attention to the videos, to watch them, but to really pay attention to the music and the lyrics. So I probably go lyrics first, sound second, and video third.
Okay.
There you go.
That makes sense. I mean, especially because our kind of whole brand is around the mental health part of it, and you can see mental health in videos, but a lot of times, sometimes the lyrics in the video won't even match up. Like sometimes the videos will be totally random and the lyrics will be totally different. Like we think of the NF Happy song, like those lyrics and Happy are very different than what the video is
that
about.
was a mistake I made. So I've learned from videos like that. Don't try to figure out every single video.
Yeah, unless you're going, which, some people do that where they were like, I'm reacting to the video on this one. I'm not reacting to the lyrics at all. And so those are some other ways.
And some are musical artists, like they are people who understand music, and they could be a voice coach or a song producer, and they're really looking for the production of the song.
True. All right, so you went through your day-to-day life, but do you want to recap that a little bit more, just like with your time at the office. How much time do you think you spend at the office versus this job? Like how do
I
you
kind of
split it?
calculated, I figure with reaction therapy, I spend about 20 hours per week on reaction therapy, amidst the 7 to 10 videos that I will record in a week, and the live streams that we will do in a week, the planning, the preparing. I'm assuming it's probably 15 to 20 hours a week that's spent on reaction therapy. The practice that I have, I probably spend close to 40 hours. I would say 35 to 40 hours per week. So we're looking at anywhere from 50 to 60 hours
Total.
in a week. I mean, it's a lot, where normally I would be capped at 40 at my office. And I do that specifically. Like Jill and I don't take all the clients that call our office. We have a couple people that take our overflow of referrals that we can't see, but then there's even more that we can't see. So many people come in that want to be seen, but we limit our numbers because we want to do the best work we can. If I saw everybody that came in, I would have a lot more money and I would be working a lot more, but I want to be energetic. I want to be passionate and connected to my clients. So we have a specific number of clients we pick per week that we will see. Our assistants are very good at keeping that number steady. And I also have 10 to 15% of my practice I see for free. And I allot those slots because I think it's important to see people who can't afford it or need help with handling therapy. So those add in. But my work days at work, Monday is a long day, right? I'm recording a few reactions, but I'm also at the office for 9 hours. Tuesday, I don't see clients, never have since the boys were born. So it's kind of a cool thing. Jill works all day Tuesday, which is like my Monday, and I stay home and took y'all to school and did after school and stuff like that. But now I've just decided to keep it because it's kind of been a mental health day, but now it's a reaction therapy day. So I record all day Tuesday with it, not all day, but many hours a day. Tuesday.
Yeah, probably 4 or 5.
Probably 4 or 5 hours we're recording on Tuesdays. Wednesday is another full day. And then Thursday and Friday I use as half days, but I don't know, in therapy, when you're talking 5 hours,
that's a
client hours, like actual client hours, there's no break. And you're going from like 9 to 2 or 8 to 1 straight. It is, in therapy, it's a lot. So that's how I kind of balance my days. And Friday I come home and obviously do the live stream on Twitch, but Thursday's kind of a break now, which has really helped my mental health.
Which it used to be a live stream day on Thursday, and then you would still record on Friday also.
Yes.
So now we're kind of...
It was almost every day, and that's why we needed a break. But it is a very full schedule. I have a full schedule at work, and if I was doing this more full time, which I do hope to do one day, especially with what all the platforms we're getting on, I would definitely cut back at work.
Yeah. All right. Before we go into Q&A, because we do have to kind of wrap this up now, but I want to talk about a little bit about what I do, and I'm going to show you some clips about, and I'm also going to show you some clips I didn't even mention. It might just be cut in there, but I'll also kind of do some clips about Tom and his day-to-day life. I might get some clips at his office. I might get some clips.
I think that should be
here.
A whole separate video.
We'll see.
A day in the life of Tom.
We'll see what we're going to do.
But this guy works hard, and he is at that computer all the time, editing. Well, not because Joe, our new editor, he edits only a certain number of videos a month. Nick has to edit the rest.
Yeah.
So he's editing, he's managing the schedule, he's dealing with blocked videos, he's trying to plan, he's got requests from Patreon. There's a lot going, polls he puts out.
I have Excel spreadsheets, and it's like 10 or 11 tabs of different things. Like I have the YouTube schedule, the Patreon schedule, the YouTube member schedule. I have the videos that Tom looks at where he records it.
Yep.
I have kind of just like updates. Like sometimes I'll make updates for my vision for kind of different months. Like I had a 2023 update. I had like a May update when we switched the Twitch stuff. So I have all kinds of spreadsheets like that. Also, a lot of stuff I do, I work a lot with scheduling and trying to figure out what videos go which days, because we record a lot of videos ahead of time, and we also have the live stream videos that we do. A lot of those I just save, and I'm like, I don't want to just do them during a live stream. I want to post them so that more people can see them. So we have a lot of saved videos, and I try to mix those in as much as I can. So I do that. A lot of my day is figuring out what schedules it's going to go in, and then also what videos Tom needs to record and how many and like what days they go on. It's a lot. Also, I do a lot of things with Patreon with the different polls that come out. Like if you're a member of the Suicide Boys tier, y'all get to vote on a poll each week. Y'all get to put in your comments. So different polls like that. I actually work with Tom's assistant, Jackie, on getting the Patreon requests done, because if y'all who don't know, the people who are on the top 2 tiers of Patreon get a request or 2 every single month. And they go through Jackie to get the request, and then Jackie shares like a note with me, and then I have to write it in the schedule. So I have to communicate with her. So I actually go up to the office, Tom's office, like 2 days a week to kind of talk with her, and then also do some of my own work. Not to mention just the editing behind what I do too, because I do have to. Joe's awesome. He's taken a big relief off my shoulders with some of the videos he does, but I still edit some of the Patreon videos and other things like that. Just wanted to kind of give y'all an update of some of the things I do. That's not all. All right,
my favorite part of the whole deal.
I think we have a couple questions. We might have to do a part 2 to this. We say that every single live stream, but
no, we never do a part 2.
All right, so first, these will be on the screen. Reactors, which I'm guessing that means you. I mean, we're both reactors, but do you prefer to have context or backstory about a song, or just a clean slate?
I don't mind either way, honestly. I don't try to go do that because I think it would take so much time for me to try to do backstory on things. I learn about artists as I react to them. So I think in time, over several songs, I learn about them. But if somebody gave me the backstory, or if Nick gave me the backstory, I don't mind it at all. I'm not this expert that's like, hey, put a song on and I'll tell you all about them, because I don't know a lot of the artists. I don't know the music, and I'm not an expert. I don't mind having it, but typically I don't have it.
Okay, and then for the editor, this person it was very good.
Very
one for
cool.
reactor, one for editor.
Very nice.
Would you rather have an editing style you like to do, / are confident in your abilities, or a style that the audience responds with better? So that's kind of something that we've looked at, and that's why Joe, our editor, who's great, he is very professional with how he edits. He has a very unique style, and it's a lot to really flashy. It gets people's attention, and that's something that we decided to go with for especially our main YouTube videos that we want people to see. I mean, we want everybody to see every video we make, but like the specific ones that we want, this is a good video, we're going to put this one out. We want Joe to do those because I just don't have the background in editing. Like I've learned everything that I do for editing, which is not, a whole lot, but I try to do the best I can do is all I've learned myself. I haven't, had a class on it. I literally just learned how to do it myself. And so for me, I would rather do the style I do because I don't know how to do anything else. That's just the reality. So I do my best with it, but Joe has been great in
that's the
being able to
difference
make it
with skill level, honestly. If we're being honest about what we do, and I was always taught, know what you don't know. You got to know what you don't know, because when you see somebody and you're capped in what you can do, it's all you can do, you'll see kind of the same video every time. Joe's got so many other tools in his box from learning that he can actually do a variety of things. You know what I noticed? He takes the live stream videos we do that used to look exactly like a live stream video that was just cut in, and he can make them look like an all individually filmed video, and he's phenomenal at that. And also the burden on Nick to run this channel, but also have to edit is a lot. So shout out to Joe for his talents, because he really does it the way we want it. He says, what do y'all want to be seen? And we give it to him, and then he takes the flack if what we want isn't satisfactory to people.
Just not fair to him. Don't ever blame Joe for anything, because
Come to us.
It's most of the time us telling him, don't put that in. But yeah, that's a good question.
Love that.
All right. This is the last question we'll do for now. One question: do you feel famous yet?
No.
I do not at all.
Not at all.
No.
But I will say it's been cool to run into people in public who've stopped me in the most random of places and said, hey, that's been pretty cool, and I appreciate doing that, and I hope to run into people in the future, because I like talking to people and seeing people. And, I have my daily life as a therapist, which most of my clients don't even know I have a YouTube channel.
I know.
But no, I don't.
Yeah.
And you don't either.
No, I don't at all. I mean, I'm just a guy behind. Well, I mean, some people think we are, though. That's the weird part. It's the weird part for you to think.
So much fun.
It's like some people think we are famous. Like, they look at us as if they saw us on the street, they'd be like shell shocked, which I'm like, why? Like, I'm just a normal dude. But
anyway, I'm ready to go on the road and see people.
Yeah. Last thing, how does Nick's day differ from Tom's day? We kind of explain it in this video, so hopefully y'all got that answer with this video, because it's very different. Tom works some days, most days. I didn't really go through my schedule. I'll do that very briefly. I said 2 days a week I'm actually at the office for about 4 or 5 hours, and then the rest of the time I'm usually at home doing like editing or scheduling. I mean, my day is so weird because I have very weird hours. I could be up at 11 o'clock at night doing something. So it's kind of just whenever things need to get done, which is cool. I like it. But anyway, anything else you want to say?
Loved it. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed the clips we put in there. We worked hard on it. So if y'all want another part 2, or if you want that day in the life of Tom just at his office, that'd be really cool. But follow us on our new social. We have 5, the new platform.
/reaction therapy.
Please go to that. And if you want to talk to Tom or any of these up here,
you want to talk to me, that's where you go.
That is true. Yeah. Okay. So thank you, Tom. This was fun.
Thank you, Nick.
Appreciate it. And we will see you on the
next
Reaction Therapy podcast.